Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Good morning, viewer, and welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television for this morning. I hope you woke up on the right side of your bed, as some people will ask. I woke up on the right side, and of course, we are here to do justice to your morning by taking you through what makes the news around the globe, even in our nation. And then, of course, we'll be bringing some conversations. Stay with us. My name is Henry Uzo, and of course, Success Benjamin is in the studio.
Oh yes, it's a fruitful Friday, and good morning to our viewers from across the globe. Welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television, where we bring you top stories and headlines making waves around the globe. I am Success Benjamin. Your day just got brightened. Ify, how are you doing today?
Very well, and it doesn't matter how things have been. Optimism is just the way forward. You're welcome to Morning Dew. Thank you so much for being with us. We have a very great ride ahead, so come along. I am Ify Arono. Today is Friday, and it's one of those days when you let your guard down, relax, and get.
I watch in the papers and everywhere about a plane. That means, do I say, can a plane misrail?
Well,
you can't call it a crash, but yes.
It crash landed, actually.
Okay.
It crash landed.
Okay.
Yes, you could see the belly of the plane away from the runway.
Yes.
But the good thing is,
no life was lost.
Life was lost.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
God is faithful.
It's a sign of good things to come.
Yeah.
Because that will have spoiled the weekend.
Absolutely. And it's been a while we had such cases.
Yes.
The other time was a plane, it was here in Delta. It skidded off.
That one did not crash land.
Yes,
that one
it
landed
did
on the road.
Yes, it landed on the road.
It landed on the road.
A testament of how well the governor is governing the state.
Another one landed somewhere in Niger State. So
yes.
I don't know what is happening. Nigeria, we have a way of taking things very lightly. But it's unusual for a plane to land on a tarred road, not a tarmac. But it's all right. It's left for the aviation industry to know what is happening.
So
but
we
thank God.
We
thank God, and we celebrate with all those aboard that plane. We'll come back to Morning Dew with news updates. And of course, Success is standing by. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Welcome to News Update on Morning Dew. An Enugu aircraft on Thursday experienced a runway excursion after landing at Benin Airport, the airlines has confirmed. The incident initially raised fears of a possible crash, but the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) clarified that the aircraft landed safely before veering off the runway, reportedly due to adverse weather conditions. The aircraft, registered as 5NENR, was operating an Enugu-Benin-Lagos commercial flight with 68 passengers on board, in addition to its crew. According to airport sources, the aircraft overshot the runway and came to a stop in a nearby grassy area. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria (FAAN) responded promptly, evacuating all passengers and crew safely. No injuries or fatalities were reported. Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja has sentenced 3 men to life imprisonment for their roles in the kidnapping of pupils and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State. Justice Salim Ibrahim delivered the judgment on Thursday, convicting Abdulrazak Umar Yunusa Musa and Shamsundi Sani after they pleaded guilty to terrorism-related charges. The offenses included concealing information about the kidnappers belonging to the banned terrorist group Darul Salam linked to Anasuru and other terrorism offenses. The court rejected the defense's plea for leniency and ordered that the life sentence run concurrently, effective from the date of the convict's arrest. Reacting to the judgment, the Director of Public Prosecution, Rotimi Oyedepo, described the verdict as a strong demonstration of judiciary's commitment to combating terrorism and violent crime. Now on entertainment, veteran Nollywood actress Ngozi Nwosu has appealed for financial assistance, revealing that she urgently needs 30 million naira for free life-saving surgical procedures. The actress disclosed that she has been hospitalized for the past 3 weeks while battling an undisclosed illness, adding that the pain has become unbearable. She appealed to fans, colleagues, and well-wishers to support a treatment by contacting a management or legal representatives. This marked the second major health challenge for the veteran actress, who previously underwent treatment for kidney and heart complications in 2012. Her appeal has since attracted an outpouring of support and prayers from fans and members of the Nigerian entertainment industry. Now in sports, Manchester City have officially completed the signing of England midfielder Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest on a 5-year contract. A deal worth £116 million make the 23-year-old the most expensive British player in history, surpassing the previous record. Anderson has signed a contract that will keep him at the Etihad Stadium until June 2031, with an option to extend for a further year. The midfielder impressed during his time at Nottingham Forest, helping the club secure Premier League survivor and reach the UEFA Europa League semi-finals. Speaking after completing the move, Anderson said he was determined to join Manchester City because of the club's winning mentality. He also described City as the kings of Chesters. Now on foreign news, two major Israeli banks are set to end their banking relationships with the Palestinian financial institutions, raising concerns about a possible economic crisis in the Palestinian territories. Israel Discount Bank will end its partnership on September 1, while Bank Hapoalim is expected to follow on October 1st. The bank cited concerns over potential risk linked to terrorism financing and money laundering. The decision comes amid the ongoing Gaza conflict and growing political tensions between the Israeli government and the Palestinian authorities. Governor of the Palestinian Monetary Authority, Yahya Shuna, warned that the move could destabilize the regional economy and disrupt financial transactions. Israel's finance ministry acknowledged the importance of the banking relationship, warning that ending it could weaken economic stability and drive more financial activity into unregulated cash channels. Bank Hapoalim says it is still reviewing the matter. And that's it for the news updates. Stay with us on Morning Dew as we return with much more impacting and exciting discussions after this break. Don't go away.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we'll go straight to what the papers are saying this morning. Starting with Business Day, we have Dangote Refinery raises Africa's largest private capital ahead IPO. And of course, Afrobeats strikes gold ahead abroad. Sorry, Afrobeats strike gold abroad. Super Eagles miss consecutive World Cups.
And bringing us to Daily Trust, we have Tinubu approves recruitment of 28,000 personnel for new army divisions. I have treated 15 patients suspected fake doctor. Kidnappers of Oyo school children teachers bag life sentence. Now the major story there says transport fares raises as petrol hits 1,400 naira per litre. And that's it for Daily Trust.
Over now to Nigerian Tribune, and above the masthead, we have an update on the Orire abduction. 3 Orire kidnappers plead guilty, sentenced to life imprisonment. And beside that, OBJ tackles Oshoba on 2003 election. There's a rider there, denies deceiving AD governor, says ex-Ogun governor unaware of several political undercurrents. The topical or major story on Nigerian Tribune today, Tinubu approves expansion of Nigerian Army to 12 divisions. The rider is OK's recruitment of 28,000 personnel to strengthen national security. We also have 311 reps support passage of state police bill as 15 lawmakers differ. The issue of Enugu Air NISIB begins investigation into Enugu Air mishap at Benin Airport. All passengers safely disembarked, and that's coming from the airline. Now there's something on health. Morning coffee protects body from aging, and that's from scientists. Let's go ahead.
Now bringing us to the pointer, the topical story there, no political party can beat APC in Delta. That's coming from Oyeme. And now we have rebuild moral architecture for states, national development, Oboriwori to clergy. Delta State Governor partners communities to drive industrialization, assures landowners of protection. Delta's favorable policies and influx of investors. Now, the top part there said cost centers suspects in Orire adoption to life imprisonment. Now, bringing us to the Enugu Air, scores cheats death as Enugu Air skids off runway. And that's it with a pointer.
Next is The Guardian. And of course, the banner headline is From Primary Decay to Tertiary Distress. Southeast in throes of tertiary healthcare infrastructure crisis. Then, of course, Presidency slams Atiku over U.S. anti-Tinubu lobbying. Still in The Guardian, we have 2027 election, Northeast political bloc backs Tinubu's second tenure. Wike-led PDP retains Oyo Secretariat, dismiss factional claims. And then, of course, we have House approves state police bill, and amid walkout includes guardrails. 2027, we have CSOs flags gaps as INEC assures 2023 technical glitches fixed. And then finally, proposed pension hike will cause job loss, business cuts, OPSN wants. All right.
All right, bringing us to the nation this morning, we have House of Reps passes state police bill. Private sectors get 2.2 trillion naira facility in 30 days, says CBN. And now the major story there says presidency. Obasanjo hits Atiku for U.S. adventure disloyalty. Tinubu expands army to 12 divisions. OK's hiring of 28,000. Ilorin, Bini, Jalingo, Makurdi to host new military formations. And that's it with the nation.
Now let's discover what's on the front page of the Punch this morning. We have walkout rocks house as state police bill passes. And here are the riders. Protest erupts over controversial House vote. House Minority Caucus insists on rethink of state police bill. Opposition challenges state police funding plan and process. Employers reject federal government's pension contribution hike. Death toll in Zamfara farmers' attack rises to 23. And the issue of Enugu Air is still on the front page of the paper, among others that we've mentioned before. Let's move on.
Moving on to Daily Trust, we
Daily
have
Sun.
the Daily Sun, Dangote Refinery raises $2.5 billion in Africa's biggest private equity placement. IMF to central banks tightens AI oversight to safeguard financial stability. IGP unveils 14 days operation against criminals in Benwell. And the topical story there, DSS insists on death penalty, rejects life jail handed to 3 convicts. And that's it for the Daily Sun this morning.
All right, next is this day. Dangote Refinery completes 2.5 billion equity raise in Africa's largest private placement. Then, of course, we have National Assembly updates inland waterways law to align with recent Supreme Court ruling. In rebuilding security, Tinubu expands army to 12 divisions, 28,000 new men. I think that's what we can take in the paper this day.
Now, bringing us to the Vanguard, Nigeria hiring lobbyists to mask insecurity. Why Nigerians are dying too soon. And we have Credible Polls Foundation for Legitimate Governance. Now, bringing us to Obasanjo still on the Vanguard. I didn't deceive AD leaders in 2003. Court sentenced 3 to life in prison over Orire school kidnapping. And that's it for the Vanguard.
That does it for the headlines today. When we come back, we shall be looking at the ones that made news that are of interest to the public. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. only on Dott TV.
Echoes of the Niger Delta, telling the stories, preserving the heritage, and amplifying the voices of the people. Join the journey every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. only on Dott Television.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
Recall that 46 pupils, teachers, and the school principal were kidnapped on May 15.
You are saying you are the chief security officer, but he doesn't have the power to control the call on the commissioner of police. The government has to step in to ensure that they get the proper mental health care, even if it means some sort of relocation from that particular community to somewhere
That's
else.
a possibility.
Yes.
Where are we headed as a country if our children are traumatized from childhood?
When the chips are down, you'll find out that women are able to expand.
Your Voice Africa, showing every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Dott Television.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We advance on the issue of the papers. We have a flurry of headlines today that we're going to look at and see how they affect us as a community. Now, Godfrey Baka is in the studio. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Yes,
Good morning, Mr.
they are
Godfrey.
saying fruitful
Good to see
Friday.
you, sir.
You always say,
thank God it's Friday.
Okay.
It's a rich Friday.
Rich
fruitful
Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
When you
You're
say
welcome.
rich,
Yeah.
when you say rich,
Yeah, I'm talking from the newsroom perspective.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I listened to your headlines.
Maybe you have gotten his alert.
I doubt.
No, that's not where I'm going to. I listened to your headlines and I saw the flurry of headlines, the issues raised.
so much to
So I
talk
consider
about.
it a rich, professionally speaking, a rich Friday.
A rich Friday, okay. All right, let's start like this. State police bill was passed at the House of Representatives, but not without drama. There were walkouts. So kudos because it passed, shows that they are living up to their words that they will expedite action on the bill. But walkouts, where are we?
Yeah, actually, the police structure as currently constituted cannot help in policing Nigeria. Some of us have always seen the misnomer in the chief security officer of a state, sometimes giving assistance to police in the state, but cannot give a command instruction to a commissioner of police. We've always advocated that this is a misnomer. So now that it has reached this level, kudos. However, opposition, representative of the opposition, as at yesterday, had to stage a walkout because they said, yes, they support the issue of state police, but that it needs to be done constitutionally. That yes, they will want action expedited, but that they would have also loved a clause-by-clause examination. So that at the end of the day, we will not say, oh, we are going to have a state police, but they find out that it is defective.
Okay.
You understand? So that was why they said the details needed to be
seen.
examined, to be seen,
Okay.
so that they are not hoodwinked. And in parliamentary setting, it is permitted to stage a walkout. That is way of giving expression to your position.
Yes.
So they stage the walkout, as it were, and address the press thereafter.
Now,
So-
the situation on ground, does it suggest that the proper work was not done on the bill? Because if they say constitutionally, that means, like you said, clause by clause. That
Yes.
is, we want to ensure that what we are giving out is what we meant to give out.
Detailed, so that at the end of the day, there are no infractions, as it were,
Okay.
or things that had been swept under the carpet. They needed that thoroughness being to be done, which they expect was not done. And they felt that a way of giving voice to their position is that, oh yes, the majority may have had their way, but let them also, the minority, have their say, which was a symbolic say in staging a walkout, as it were.
Now, talking about staging a walkout and the fact that we know that the opposition are not quite in tandem with what the bill as it is passed, don't we see a possibility of perhaps a review of, isn't it possible, or even before it becomes a law? I thought that even when it's passed, work continues. Isn't that
At this point in time, the police structure as we have it is a creation of the Constitution, which says there shall be a Nigerian police force. Now, for you to have state police, don't forget that it has had to go through the state houses of assembly, and it has had a passage.
Okay.
Now back to the National Assembly, and it's expected that having been passed now, what the next stage should be an assent by the president.
Yeah.
And now it
So that
becomes a law. Then we now go into the stage of implementation. However, no law is cast in stone. So there could also be the need at some
They
point
review some
for
aspects
some
of it.
review of it.
Now, we hope that whatever we're doing captures this caveat, because we notice in our country where, the policemen are serving public officers more than they are serving the public. How do I mean? When you become, a legislator, whether at the national, state level, some policemen are attached to you, attached to your wife, attached to escort your children to school. At the end of the day, it's like the policemen are meant for. I hope this one does not mean creating.
No.
police,
That was
as we
what I
say,
tried to. That was what I
politicians
tried.
in the state.
That was what I tried to describe in one word:
Okay.
a misnomer,
Okay.
which has not served the interest of the average Nigerian.
Yeah.
And if you trace it, it started from the colonial
Masters.
history
Okay.
of the Nigerian police as currently exists, where people were not recruited because they had the mental alertness or they were to serve the people, but they were recruited based on their size and ability to intimidate and for coercion and for tax collection.
Instead of protecting the public,
That was the colonial heritage, the colonial antecedent of Nigerian police.
Okay.
Over time, people have advocated the need for a reform. That reform has not come.
okay?
And couldn't have come under this current setting. And so it is that you find out that in spite of the funding through the Nigerian Police Commission, at the end of the day, the average policeman out there still buys his own uniform, still buys his boot and all that.
Excuse me?
Buys his uniform. No, you can confirm this now. Buys his uniform, buys his things, and as such, they are not too far away from where we are located now. And you see boots that are on sale.
Yes.
So you have to have a way of generating your own fund in order to kit
be a
yourself. That is the very, very abysmal situation that we have. And you now see a situation where the only way to correct that for some of them is leave the mainstream police structure and go and be an security aid to Henry, should he become a senator.
Yeah.
That's an escape route from a quagmire situation.
That's the main poverty.
And of course, more lucrative.
More lucrative. He can now, every weekend, like today is a Friday, he aids you and your family, you sustain, and over time you could assist him
And then
with
also,
a few things.
he also makes remittance to the office who posted him to that man.
Yes, but what that means is that the landmass of Nigeria is under-policed.
Okay.
It's under-policed. And that is why we are where we are, where you can see terrorists come into a place, run in, take our children out of school, and all that. You know, so now the time has reached, and we don't need to dilly-dally up to this point.
Yes.
The time has reached for us to break it down.
Yeah.
Not just to state police, community police, county police, that will be effective so that Nigeria can be better policed.
Okay.
All right, shifting away from police now, let's go to the army. Maybe for issue of security also. Tinubu, our president, has just approved the expansion of the Nigerian army to 12 divisions.
Yeah, from 8.
And then from 8 to 12.
To
That's
12.
4 more.
Yes.
And then, of course, the employment of 28,000 soldiers. Yes. That should be good news, but a situation where the salary is bastardized. Recently, we were talking about the salary being pegged at 100,000. I hope our young men will be
it's good news in a way, following the kind of cooperation between the Nigerian military, US, and also build up to the election, the need to have Nigeria better secured, as it were. You know, the command structure, breaking it down, the military goes through divisions and all that. Now, I think the one closest to us now should be in Benin, Edo State, where you have Delta, Benin, and Bayelsa. You know, there are the traditional ones that have always been in Kaduna and the rest other places.
What we have on my road, what is it?
No. It's answerable. That one was politically attracted to better secure Nigeria. You know, that one still stands firm, but it's not answerable to Benin. It's not a division.
What about the one?
83
there's
division.
One between the boundary between Delta and Edo State. There's another one there.
Oh, yes.
What do we call those one? Detachment or what?
They are detachment answerable to the division, in Benin.
Okay.
You know, for better security. But now to not to be reactionary to the terrorists and insurgents that are setting the pace. You need to, just like we are talking of having the police closer to the people through state police and community policing, you also need to have the army somewhat closer to hotspots. You know, so that explains what the president has tried to do, so that countdown towards the date he has with Nigerian people come 2027, to see how Nigeria can be better secured. But to what extent that can attract recruitment to the tune of that 28,000 is another thing. Because truth be told, there are parts of this country who, even after the war, they believe that it has, the wounds have not been properly healed. And so, no matter how you advertise, no matter how you sensitize, they still are not convinced that the military, as currently constituted, is Nigerian army. They still do not believe that. They still believe that it's a sectional army. That is just the disjointed, serving the interests of a section of the nation. You know, so one does not need to start talking of such sections of the country. But until we deliberately make it a Nigerian army, where people can make... We had the Irosis, we had the Ojukus, you know, and we had the Hejirikas and all that. You know, but Ezogos. But there's a generation of Nigerians coming up who are not convinced that this is truly a Nigerian army. And until we are able to do that, no matter the level of recruitment and advertisement and sensitization, we may not be able to bring back the Nigerian army. Don't forget one of the books Achebe wrote, There Was a Country. Let us not also get to a point where we say there was a Nigerian army. We actually need a Nigerian army, which is an inclusive thing.
Okay, now that the president has approved 28,000 recruitment of forcemen, do they also have a budget allocated or planned to look at, to take care for the welfare of these people coming in and expanding the military force into 12?
It's expected that by the time you are asking for fresh recruitment, you should be able to make budgetary provision. But the problem we have in our climate is that sometimes budgetary provisions do not translate into disbursement, financial disbursement. And that is why it's as if the terrorists and the bandits are outfiring our military, because the bureaucratic bottleneck in releasing what has been budgeted for,
what has been approved,
from appropriation to budgeting, now budgeting as a law, now approval so that it can be used.
The money can be used.
We find out that legitimate approvals are not expedited, whereas with the right contacts and whatever, you can expedite the funding of agencies that are said to be fake and phony. That is the paradox that has taken us to where we are. Until we think Nigeria and think of the critical, each time we talk about health, education for the future, security, issues of agriculture, these are critical areas that you do not need to play politics with. But you see a situation where, if you're able to, in some levels, that's perverted PR. They say if you're able to do some level of PR, you can have it released to you on first charge. That shouldn't be the case. There are critical areas we do not play politics.
All right, let's look at this, because there appears to be a paradox at play. Oftentimes when you hear people speak, they say, our military is so trained that they help train other African countries. That is, other African countries send their soldiers, send their policemen to be trained by Nigerian police force. And we at home, we don't seem to see this expertise, this excellence. What is happening? What's the problem?
You are a trained and tested broadcaster. But if this studio didn't have the kind of gadgets, high-tech gadgets, you will not be received by people who are tuned now to and who are receiving you.
Okay.
You understand? So our military, they are well trained. But when they do not have the necessary tools to work, or in some cases they are told, do not shoot until you get order. Political interference.
Yeah.
Do not shoot until you are ordered to shoot.
You are told to do so.
And you see people coming and slaughtering generals and all that. The retinue of those we have lost in about 19 years, getting to 20 years of this fight against insurgency, you will see that it is an uphill task to convince the young Nigerian to come and enlist in the military. Issue of funding, issue of politicization, and issue of lack of political will to actually address issues the way they should.
All right, let's move away from security now, and of course our security agencies. We see another level of, trading of words. OBG has come in the fray. They are all blaming Atiku. Why are you lobbying the US to bring Tinubu to book? Obasanjo, that is happening between Tinubu or presidency and Atiku is not a problem. But Obasanjo joining again to remind Atiku that he was not a good vice president. Now, what does that say of our journey towards 2027?
Yes, that's part of the build-up. And anybody who says it's not expecting it should rethink, because we expect more of that. And interestingly too, Atiku is not closing his mouth, as it were. In some of the major papers today, some of the lead stories there, he's speaking under the political umbrella of ADC, that commendation letter from Trump cannot save you from defeat in the oncoming election.
I wonder.
That in diplomatic circle, you are trained to sound niceties, diplomaties. You are trained to sound nice. So that you are flaunting letter that Trump, by the way, Trump's approval rating has fallen that low in US because of the war against Iran. It's about 64. approval rating. It had never been that low.
Okay.
Because of how do you judge government? Issues of economy, issues of fight against crime,
Security.
issues of security, especially in our climate,
And
issues of
GDP.
creating of jobs,
Yeah,
employment,
GDP.
fight of the economy,
Yeah.
the strength of economy.
Yeah.
Now Trump is spending billions of dollars funding a war that many Americans believe is not ab initio necessary.
Yeah.
Could have been avoided. There could have been other ways out and build on the economy. So a man that is sinking in his climb, though internationally still respected,
Yeah.
writes you a letter. Too many things are encoded in that letter. By our indebtedness and oil arrangement, we are tied in some ways to China.
Yes.
We know the position of America towards China.
Vis-a-vis China.
You understand? And so a nice letter could be written from US. You know, you are moving towards China so much, but don't forget our ties.
Yes.
And
We still have to do business.
Exactly. So for the spokesperson of Mr. President to now take it up as an endorsement, as if the election, you can see that Trump is...
That's charlatan.
That's charlatanism. That's charlatanism. There's no credibility in that. Okay. You know, so Atiku is in a position to tell them that. Meanwhile, they are also in a position to tell Atiku that your political trajectory is not that of an exemplary Democrat.
Yeah.
You know, so now it is very, very easy to be on the sideline and condemn,
yes,
criticize, but that we are also aware of how your principal in the person of President Obasanjo allowed you to preside over the privatization issues in Nigeria and how credibly you were able to perform. So that's about, if he who must go to equity should go with clean hands.
How easy is it to have clean hands in Nigeria? But I do know, you'll tell us how easy is it for politicians in Nigeria to have clean hands. Also, what Atiku is doing, do you see it as providing a very robust opposition? Because now issues are coming out, you know, and that is what you can expect building up to such an important election as what we have coming up in 2027. Don't you agree?
Nigeria's democracy, the stage it is, requires opposition. Not just opposition, it has to be a viable opposition.
Yes.
Is it possible for you to come to Nigerian politics and come with clean hands? It is possible.
Yeah.
If the likes of Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, if he has anything going against him, you can be sure that he will be somewhere now, sharing apartment with El-Rufai. You understand?
And he's one man out of how many politicians in Nigeria?
Oh, well, we need more of such. Africa at some point had Nelson Mandela. We've had reason to say it here.
Yeah.
We need more of such. Because if in his private business life, if in his public life, 8 years as a governor in Anambra State, that there are things they have used the microscope, they have checked and x-rayed everything.
Yeah.
But they are yet to see. Okay. They may see tomorrow, they are yet to see. And so it is. If you are building yourself for a public space and public podium, why not make your records to be clean? So it's not when you get there that you will now be trying to do image laundering.
Now, the thing that Atiku is saying now, yes, they could be correct. They could be appropriate. But coming at the time when he's running for election with Mr. President, don't you think it's a political contest more than providing robust opposition?
Yeah, the role of opposition is also to provide robust alternative on how things can be done. Don't forget that we've never had it this bad, where we didn't have, when we had NPN at the federal level, we had a viable UPN. But we've had a situation where it appeared as if there was an orchestrated plan to ensure that the opposition is disenabled in some ways or the other. You know, so going forward, we expect some more vibrant opposition. What do opposition do? You know, the other time we were talking about INEC and how it appears all the expectation and assignment is on them over sensitizing people. Why? Because political parties are not doing enough sensitization.
Okay.
Why are they not doing enough sensitization? They are more in court over their status, over uploading their candidate, over that the logo of this is not, you know, so they have not been allowed to settle down.
Pedestrian
And
issues.
that is not very pedestrian issues. And that's not how a viable democracy should run, for goodness sake. A viable democracy should allow the opposition to breathe so that they are able to canvass and sell their manifesto, so that the Nigerian people will have the privilege of a choice, so that our democracy can be deepened.
Thank you, Baka. We'll continue. We'll just go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with other issues. Viewers, stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and electoral credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheun Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo, Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, Media Personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706 701 8400 0803 874 9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Boko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Hot Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
And fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We continue with the issue of the Orire abduction and, of course, release. A fallout from it is the recent life sentence given to 3 accomplices to the issue. Life sentence, some people are saying that is far between. That should have been straight death sentence.
Including the DSS.
The DSS.
Yeah, so where do we go from here? At least it serves as a deterrent from the normal point of view.
Is it enough?
Yes. Globally, people are saying that death penalty, they call it capital punishment, is no longer very, very fashionable. You understand? But in the context, and that's why nations are getting out of it, you know. But in the context of what happened, they didn't just abduct, they slashed some of their victims. They killed, you know. And it's expected that if you kill and it's proven that you actually killed, you should be killed.
Yeah.
And if you know how porous our correctional center, they call them, our correctional centers are, then you understand that it's risky to keep these people in there. It's either they are indoctrinating others, or someday their followers will kidnap people and use them as negotiation tool. You know, so those are the dangers. The issue, our correctional centers are very congested, terribly so. And I'm told that in the whole of the southeast, you have only one hangman that is based in Enugu, you know, and the man is aging, you know. So we have people who are sentenced to death and
nobody to
execute
them.
Wonderful.
And there are no young men who are eager
Willing
to take
to
up
be
that job
hangmen.
to
Yes.
be hangmen. You understand? So that is
It's a difficult job.
Very difficult.
Because now they have been sentenced to death. But the
life imprisonment.
life imprisonment, rather. If the other way they were sentenced to death, it will also require the signature of a state governor at some point for you to take them away to go and execute them.
Okay.
You know? So you now see a situation where a number of people who have even been sentenced to death
By
hanging are in awaiting death, awaiting execution. Awaiting execution, not trial.
Yes.
Awaiting execution. They are in there in our prison, and they do not know when it will happen.
That is even more.
That could be very traumatic
Appreciating
in a way.
I believe that since we have a lot of criminal,
yes,
to
be hangmen.
To be hangmen.
Isn't it? It's a better job to execute people who are on death row than to kill innocent people. I believe
Can you advocate that a brother of yours?
No, I'm just saying that since we have seen criminality at this level,
it's a bad job.
It's a bad job.
It's a job.
I wanted to
It's
ask.
a job.
I wanted
It's
to
a job
ask.
of necessity.
It's a bad job.
Because all through yesterday, the social media has been abuzz because no one expected, you know, given how our judiciary grinds, the wheel of justice grinds really slowly, that this sentence would come quickly. So people were asking, is it not the same? Were they taking outside Nigeria for this judgment to come speedily? So what are your thoughts about the concerns?
The judiciary needed to speed up action to give credibility. Don't forget that there are a number of narratives. You know,
on this matter.
And some people are beginning to play up the possibility of that it may have been staged and all that for the federal government. You know, so they needed to expedite action to show you that the actors are real.
Okay.
The actors are real and see them. They have been tried. You know, and when you also have a government that is trying to warm itself up to
the
world
public.
powers like US,
like the almighty US.
See how we are fighting decisively the issue of insecurity. Then you will understand that so many things, so many factors were at play. Towards having
and you know, prompts applause for our president came just right after the release of the abducted school children. So that says a lot about why the federal government is now working harder, you know, because international applause is coming. So we do hope.
We expect more applause, but we also expect that what was done in Orire, you know,
Should be done in other places.
Come to Macedonia and help us. There are also people that are held in Borno State. There are also people that are held in other parts of the country.
All right.
So let it not just end at Oriri.
Yes, as an opinion, before we continue, I think these people were accomplices. They were not the actual abductors. So I think that life sentence is okay for them. My opinion. All right, let's move. Life expectancy in Nigeria is dropping again. They say we die quick in Nigeria. What is the cause? And of course, what is the present life expectancy? At the point it was put at 49 years for men.
Yes, thereabouts.
Yeah. So
yes, for women at about 50-something, early 50s.
Yes.
You know,
so
and
why are we dying so soon?
And just to put context to it before you come in, we're talking about slump and die situations, which we've seen a lot across the country. Yes. Someone teaching and the next in the person slump, someone exercising. We're told that exercise is good for the heart. But how come somebody on the pitch playing football in school, I've witnessed such a situation. Yeah. So how come? How did we get here?
The other side to that question is how come that people even live up to the number they live?
Yes.
That's a miracle.
Yes.
Because if you factor in the state of our healthcare, if you factor in the stress that people go through, you know, if you factor in all those, then you find out that it's a miracle that Nigerians are living in up to.
Yes,
when we train medical experts that go abroad, Japan syndrome, to enhance the life expectancy
of other
nations, developed countries.
Yes.
And here we are having, what's the World Health Organization ratio of doctor to patient? And where are we? Anywhere near it?
4,000
the primary health
to one doctor.
Yes, the primary health care center, the primary health centers, the tertiary and all that. We have a sector that we have not been serious enough to fund. We are not serious about it. Don't forget the issue of medical tourism.
Sure.
You know, our elites, they live in Nigeria, they possibly die in London. Our president don't show good example on why we should patronize our local.
Whenever it's down, it goes out.
They go out. So all odds are against Nigerians. Us. And from those who are not even feeding well as we speak,
so
malnourished people, you are what you eat, for goodness sake.
I agree.
If you know you are into exercises, what is the role of not moving our bodies? Because now we are enjoying sedentary life.
Yes.
We are sitting in the studio here now. The only thing we are doing is talking. Air conditioner is sipping in on us. And then when we don't exercise, when we don't get involved in activities, is that also a reason why we die? Because in our time, when our parents were there, they can eat apple now and then they walk in the next 2 hours. The apple has vanished from the body.
They go to the farm.
Yes.
You know, every
we are
part
less
of the body.
exercised now.
Yes.
And of course,
Henry, we are on a live television.
And
otherwise, I would have told the world that you exercise on the pulpit a lot.
No, I don't have problem because no, it's true. We have been told that those of us who are in church, we have an advantage because every day we come to church, we do some clapping, we do some dancing, and then of course as a pastor you must preach. You know, so
and the more you do that, I just want to point this out before we close.
Yes.
Because even people who are watching us probably now in their shops, they might think, oh, just because they exert themselves, serving their purchasers, you know, packing goods, that's exercise. That's also stress. Yes, it's stress. Yeah, so we're hoping that everyone understands that exercise is something you do with a heart at ease. You are intentional about it. You just go and you decide that you just want to relax yourself, stretch your muscles.
Maybe we'll get an expert in that area to speak to us so that we can
Talking about an expert,
before we go, we cannot leave this one. A doctor who is adjudged to be fake has treated 15 patients. If that is said that he has treated, that means they got well. So what's fake about him?
It's interesting that this is news because we have fake agencies.
Yes.
We have fake doctors. We have fake lawyers that have been winning cases.
Okay.
Because they understudied a barrister in his chamber over time, and they have been winning cases over time. I took time to go through that story. and he dropped out of the
medical
school, University of Calabar. University of Calabar, the teaching hospital. He dropped out at some point.
That means he has some level of medical.
So he has some level of medical background. But the medical profession is such that if you're not, you need to go there for 6 years.
7 years.
6 years, then get inducted. By the time you finish induction, you go for housemanship for 1 year before you go for your NYSC. It's at the NYSC level that they begin to call you doctor.
A doctor.
Even at that, when you come in as resident, you work under some other senior doctors.
Yeah.
So it's such
a process.
A process that.
And controlled as well.
Yes, a control. Nigerian Medical Council. Now, from the point of your admission, they should be able to tell you, because you have 5 professors in the department, you should not admit more than 50. Because each professor should supervise. So they follow you up from the point of admission to that of graduation, induction, and practice. So you cannot say because you failed out at some point and you've had some basic knowledge, you can now go and that makes it whack.
Oh, yes.
And the fact that he did some level of trial and error and they got well does not in any way confirm that he is a doctor.
After all, people buy paracetamol and take for their headache and they get well.
They still get well.
All right, so much on paper review for this morning. Ubaka, thank you for coming. Ify and
so much.
Success. Thank you for being there.
Remember to exercise this weekend. You need it. Yes, without the sweat.
I did a bit of it before I came here.
Thank you. We'll be doing. Well, viewer, thank you for staying with us. Hope you were part of our conversation. Everything we said to all of us, so that it's about our nation, it's about our body. When we come back, we'll continue with Morning Dew. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, We tell the human stories behind them.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we'll move straight to sports. Anthony Uche is here. How are you today?
Doing very well.
And what's happening? We missed you a few days.
I mean, you always miss me because I can miss the great stories.
I missed you. And I like your guys today. You are very sporty. If there's anything like that.
The moment he saw you, shouted, Tone!
Well, thank you very much. The Women's Africa Cup of Nations was pushed back by 4 months, but finally it's going to kick off, hopefully, on Sunday, the 25th of this month, and this month, July. So, in preparation for that tournament, the Super Falcons, first and foremost, good news, everybody is now in camp because the likes of, Gift Monday and one other player was, the latest to arrive in camp because they had flight delays and all that stuff. But now the 25 women are in camp and everybody is now ready to go and represent Nigeria in their quest to win an 11th or record extending 11th African Women's Cup of Nations title. And in Tanzania, well, they call it behind closed doors, but I have my sources who give me information.
Oh,
Behind closed
Yeah,
doors.
they can't close the door against you.
They can't close the door. So the game ended 2-1 in favor of the Super Falcons.
Okay.
Goals from captain Rashida Tajibade and Esther Okoronkwo. And Esther Okoronkwo's goal was basically the last meaningful kick of the game because, she scored at the 89th minute of the match or the training match, if you want to call it that. And Rashida Tajibade, I'm not really surprised. She scored and assisted the second goal. She is head and shoulders above every other person in that team. There was a time when he was assisted to Oshuala, who was by far the best women's player in Nigeria. But now I think the levels have switched, and Rashidat, the captain, deservedly as well, is the best player in the team. And like I said, looking for that record extended 11th Africa Cup of Nations for the women, I think the standards should remain as high as it is. Yes, I know it's difficult. You have the likes of South Africa and Morocco, especially Morocco, who are also hosting it again. The last edition in 2024, they were 2-0 ahead of the Super Falcons in the finals.
Yes.
And it took a monumental comeback in that game for the Super Falcons
the
to
skill
return
of
and
Okoronkwo.
win. Yes, to win by 3-2. So having gotten that close to them, you expect that they will become a bigger challenge this time around as well, being the host nation. And like I said, South Africa with the Israelis, very, very good team. Very, very good team. They also won the AFCON a few years back now. So they have what it takes to do it. But for me, the standard has always been that the Super Falcons are by far the best women's national team in Africa. And that has to remain the same. The only problem they have is the Olympics and the Women's World Cup. That is really the only problem they have when they come up against the likes of, when they come up against the likes of Spain, England, Germany, they always struggle. Even Australia and the USA, of course, who are by far the best women's team in the world, closely followed by Spain, in my opinion, because they are the defending champions of the world in the women's game. And talking about the Women's World Cup, a good performance at this tournament is not only going to earn you the AFCON, because the 4 teams that get to the semi-finals of this edition will automatically book their place at the 2027 Women's World Cup. Okay. So that's an additional incentive. I don't know the reasons why CAF, in their magnanimity and in their wisdom, chose to do it so, but maybe it has to do with something about the time they have to organize a qualification tournament. So they just make the AFCON the automatic qualification.
It makes some sense.
It makes it makes some sense. It's not the first time. It's also happened in the under-20s of the men and the women's under-20s. So, but it has not happened. It's not something you see with the AFCON, the men AFCON, because a lot of people are willing to take it to court to not only make it to the to go on and extend that record, because that is pretty much all they do, which is to win on the African continent. And then, of course, still talking of football, some stories come up, and then even outside the field about players, and it takes you aback a little bit. And that is one of them is the story of Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko is Manchester United striker, signed last summer, played his first season in the Premier League for United, had a goodish season with 11 goals in the Premier League for somebody it is his first season in the Premier League. Yes, you could say he had a good return, but the thing generating the headlines is not about his goals or his performance on the field, because when Benjamin Sesko left Manchester United last season, he looked like this. And yesterday, he returned to training for the first time this preseason, and this is what he looks like. He's definitely bulked up. He's put more meat and more muscle on the body. And that has you got a lot of people talking really about how it would affect him. And one thing you hear in Premier League is you get defenders.
demanding.
Yes, you get defenders like who are built like Van Dijk. And if you're a defender, you come up against strikers built like Haaland. You know that's a nightmare if you're not strong physically.
Yeah.
So that demand, I think, has made him figure this.
Build up.
Yes, build up so that he could be. He could go into any tackle really 50-50 with some sort of favoritism because physically he's dominant enough. And now the problem comes, the question comes, if you built up, how much will it affect your game?
Yeah, in terms of speed
and dribbling and agility and all of that.
swiftness.
Yes. So it is left for us to see. We'll see what happens. But for me, this is to build up is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
As long as, like I said, you can carry what you've built and put on your body. I don't think there's a problem. And still talking of extraordinary physical achievements, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen and ladies and everybody watching, this is a 7-month pregnant lady.
Wow.
Yes, she's Belgian. She plays for Crystal Palace in England.
Yes.
Crystal Palace women's team. And she's 7 months pregnant.
Yes.
And she was captured in training yesterday doing drills.
What point is she trying to make?
No, she's just trying to stay active. She's just trying to stay active, and for so many reasons, a lot of people have also told me that will also put her in good stead when it comes to delivery.
Yeah, it will help
because
her delivery. That's
it eases
true.
delivery.
It's true.
And it brought a
Uses
lot
the
of
body.
It brought a lot of flashback to.
But not that she's going to play active football.
No.
Okay.
She's just training.
Just
As you
training.
can see, she's alone
Yeah,
and
okay.
doing it with the cones and with all of those stuff. So
All
there's no physical contact. She's not training with the rest of the squad, and that's
And
understandable.
she has a good cervix.
Yes.
Yes, as well.
Yes. So, and that also brought to mind the story of, a certain Serena Williams. Serena Williams was playing. She only disclosed this after she had given birth, but she said she would sneak out of the house to go and play tennis 2 months pregnant. Yes. And there's a big difference between training alone with the foot. I said about just like the Benjamin Sheshko transformation, about how much and how far people push themselves physically in order to attain excellence. And just to round up, yesterday night was the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games, which is going down in Scotland, in Glasgow to be precise. And of course, the Commonwealth Games, the last edition was in 2022 in Birmingham, and so many other former British colonies like Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Australia, Jamaica, and all of these other places that were formerly colonized by Britain. Of course, they are the people that make up the Commonwealth of Nations. So they participated, and this year's one almost looked like it was never going to hold because, they were finding it difficult to find a host nation and to find organizers for the tournament. But Scotland and Glasgow stepped in last minute to rescue the day. And yesterday, like I said, last night was the opening ceremony. And as we speak, there are a lot of action already going on from different centers of the Commonwealth Games.
So that will keep us busy.
Yes, for this weekend especially, because it's not going to stay for long. It starts on the 23rd, and on the 2nd of August is wrapped up already. So it's just basically roughly a week long program. But within that week, a lot can happen, and there's no football really. So they're just streamlined to the important
athletics.
Ones. Yes, athletics especially is the one that catches, just like the Olympics. Athletics, other than football, is the one that catches all the attention. And Nigeria, ably represented in the athletics category. Chukwuebuka Nekwechi, the queen herself, Tobiloba Amusan, is also in there. So Nigeria ably represented, and I just can't wait to see how well they perform.
All right, thank you, Tony, for being there. We miss you, like we said, and we don't want you to be going far away.
I'll try and come back as often as.
All right, viewer, we are going to come to something allied to this, allied to sports, allied to health, because we just talked about the fact that we should do things that will make us live longer, stay healthy.
Healthy.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Recall that 46 pupils, teachers, and the school principal were kidnapped on May 15.
You are saying you are the chief security officer, but he doesn't have the power to control, call on the commissioner of police. The government has to step in to ensure that they get the proper mental health care, even if it means some sort of relocation from that particular community to somewhere
What's a
else.
possibility?
Yes.
Where are we headed as a country if our children are dis-traumatized from childhood?
When the chips are down, you'll find out that women are able to expand.
Your Voice Africa, showing every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Dott Television.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. only on Dott TV.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
Yes, welcome back. Before we go to the conversation on wellness and spa, I think we do business because Louisa Asidi is already in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome. You're looking
Louisa.
very radiant.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
All
Louisa.
right.
Happy weekend.
Oh, same to you.
Already
also.
wishing happy weekend when you are still working. Yes, Louisa, what do you have in your business park?
Okay, let's start with power and a major signal from the presidency. The federal government says moving the entire electricity sector to cost-reflective tariffs is now an official policy. That means the price you pay for power would reflect what it actually costs to produce and deliver it. So why this push? Nigeria currently invests about $1 billion a year across the entire power sector. The government says the sector needs to grow tenfold to reach universal access. But the sector is drowning in debt. Power generation companies say they are owed over 7 trillion naira. Right now, they are being paid less than half of what they invoice every month. So what does this mean for you at home? Higher tariffs are coming for more customers. The government isn't saying when, but it is saying it's been decided. The plan is to cushion low-income households through targeted subsidies rather than keeping power cheap for everyone. Now to something for young business owners. The federal government has launched youth. Here's how it works. If you are between 18 and 35, you can access loans of between 200,000 and 2 million naira through regulated financial institutions. Now, here's why that's interesting. Finance Minister Taiwo Oyedele says the loans would be based on collateral of family wealth, but on your credit behavior and one-person operations. The tailor, the caterer, the ride-hailing driver, the content creator. Most of them have never qualified for a bank loan because banks ask for audited accounts and collateral they simply do not have. The scheme runs through Credit Corp, the government's consumer credit agency. The big test, of course, will be delivery, how quickly the money moves and who actually gets it. But if you've got a business idea and a decent repayment record, this one's worth keeping an eye on. Now to something completely different. And how much would you pay for a dinosaur? Well, someone just paid $50.1 million. That's over 75 billion naira for a T-Rex skeleton at the Sotheby's auction in New York. The skeleton is nicknamed Gus after the late cattle rancher who owned the land in South Dakota where it was found. Let's take a look.
Gus is one of the largest and most complete T-Rex ever found. It was discovered about 5 years ago in South Dakota near Harding County on land owned by Gary Gus Licking and his wife Dana. Gary, who went by the nickname Gus, sadly passed about a year into the excavation. So the specimen was named in his memory. And, we really wish he was here to see how magnificent it turned out, because I think if it wasn't for him, Gus wouldn't have been found. Remember, the United States is the only country in the world where fossils like this are considered personal property. So if you own the land, you own the fossil and you have the right to sell it. That's not the case in other countries in the world that have dinosaur fossils. So if you want a dinosaur, this is the only place that you can get it. So we really have interest from every country in the world. But auctioning it is huge. I'm excited to see what the result is.
At $43 million, then I'm selling at $43 million. You're all through online. You're all through in the room at $43 million. Fair warning then, at $43 million, that's with Cassandra Hatton. Sold, $43 million.
Now, here's what caught our eye on the business decks. The Sotheby's expected Gus to reach $20, maybe $30 million. Instead, just 7 bidders pushed him past $50 million in only 10 minutes, making him the most expensive set of dinosaur bones ever sold. Now, this tells us something. The world's wealthiest are increasingly packing money in what investors call alternative assets, art, rare artifacts, and yes, dinosaurs. So why does this matter here at home? Nigeria sits on its own treasures, from the Benin bronze to the ancient Nok terracottas, some of the oldest sculptures in Africa. The global appetite for rare heritage is real, and it's growing. The question is whether we are documenting, protecting, and valuing our own.
Wow.
Well, that's interesting. It's about value system, because I will not go and buy dinosaur in bones. The bones of dinosaur, no matter how you treat it, I will spend my money, hard-earned money.
But that's an endangered species. That's why. It's endangered. You hardly see it.
Is that how to preserve it?
Wow.
By spending plenty of money
and it's
on
going to appreciate because of this value that has been placed on it.
Yes.
In my language, they say, he who has money buys snake. that is you do careless spending.
I would buy it. I would buy it.
I trust you.
Yes, because I know that in the future it would sell for billions of
Oh,
dollars.
business-wise.
Yes, you would make a lot of money because the bones we appreciate.
Yes.
All right.
And you have a lot of things. Tourism. People want to come see the bones.
Risa,
yes.
Thank you for letting us know that higher bills are coming for us on electricity.
Yes.
Thank you for being there. Well, viewer, keep standing by. We'll come back with our conversation. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, this is Morning Dew, and one term on every lip: wellness. Everyone is talking about wellness, from massage, facials to fitness routines, healthy eating, and even mental well-being. More people are investing heavily in their overall health. Yet, alongside this, there is a growing misconception about what wellness truly means and what spa services can do and what they cannot do. It's important for us to have this conversation to separate fact from fiction. So let's talk wellness, importance, and misconceptions. I am Ifi Arono, and you're watching Morning Dew on Dott TV. My colleague is here.
Yes, welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television, and I am Success Benjamin. Today we're going to be talking on wellness. Overall wellness, what wellness is about, and the misconception of wellness and its importance of wellness. And we are joined here in the studio this morning. We have Chichi Gift Egbule. She is an entrepreneur, an esthetician, and also a realtor. CEO Camdy's Wellness Spa.
How are you doing? You look
Yes.
beautiful this morning. You guys look beautiful.
You too.
How are you, Ma?
Did you observe something that we're having this kind of look-alike?
Yes, you two look like sisters.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
You look like sisters, and you look well. I think I'm different. Yes, you guys you know what I mean. Yes, I'm
No,
looking
you
different.
you are beautiful.
I mean, no, because we're talking about wellness, and sometimes we find that people don't quite understand what wellness really means. Like I said, you two are a bit on the, your bold beauties, and I am a slim
don't say
one.
that. You look beautiful as
So
well.
talk to us. So, in explaining to us what wellness means, you can tell us whether I'm well or you're well.
Okay, let's go into it. Now, when people hear the word wellness, most people immediately think is a luxury spa section, or it's a name for for very rich people or something. No. Spa wellness or wellness is beyond that. Wellness is you taking care of yourself, you being consistent with yourself. Now, there are 3 categories of wellness, or 4 I want to list. We have the physical wellness, we have the mental wellness, we have the skin wellness, and we have the lifestyle wellness. Okay, so what is a physical wellness? A physical wellness is when you move. When you move, like example, you walk 10 hours in a day, you should move at least 30 minutes. Do a sport walk, do a walk around, do a yoga, just do something.
When you say you walk 10 hours a day, do you mean people who sit?
Yes.
Okay, for that long.
Not just even sit, you mentally do your thing.
Okay.
You should sweat out. You should walk out 30 minutes in a day.
Just before you go into other parts, I know people who are in their shops, possibly watching us, walking around, packing things for people. They are walking. Are they walking, or are they
That's
exercising?
a mental walk. That's a different walk.
Okay.
Yeah, from wellness.
So they still also need 30 minutes to.
Do they also need
cool off?
30 minutes to cool off?
Exactly, to stretch out. Now, since they are walking, they might do stretches because
Okay.
their back might be like ached and all of that. So yoga stretches can help them too.
Okay.
Then physical wellness is also under sleeping, your sleeping habits. Most people don't sleep.
Okay.
So if you could try to sleep at least 9 to 7 hours in a day.
7 to 9 hours.
Yeah, that will be very perfect for your mental health. That will help your physical health. That will make you stand out physically. You're upright. Sleeping well really helps your physical mental health. Then I will also add your nutrition, how you eat. Matters a lot. A lot of people do carbohydrates a lot, rice, eba, they're all around the carbs.
Most of our foods in Nigeria
is
are
carbohydrates.
No, my love. This is the conception people have. You can work on your meals. We have egg, we have yogurt. These are basic things.
They're more expensive.
People feel like you can't. I heard someone saying, I can't have yogurt as a meal, and just it's so heavy, it's so light. I will not feel,
Oh, you mean I should have yogurt for lunch?
Of course.
Exactly. That's the wellness we're talking about. No, for breakfast.
Okay, for breakfast. Okay.
Something like this. That's the wellness we're talking about. Eating rightly.
Okay, maybe parfait.
Yeah, fruits. Yeah.
Okay.
These things, really matters. It's under wellness.
But these things are quite expensive anyway.
We used to think that it's for whites. It's Europeans that used to eat things like
it's under wellness. Like the salmon fish. Okay, fine. There's ice fish. If we're not drinking salmon. There's ice fish, there's beef. These are also under, like, you could just do your boiled fish and having maybe veggies, garbage. This is affordable.
And it's breakfast, my.
No, it can be lunch, it can be dinner. Dinner, that would be very fine for dinner.
Okay, vegetable and
proteins.
Protein.
Yeah. So now I'm not a nutritionist. A nutritionist should do that for you. But I'm just giving you like on things that are under wellness. So nutrition is under wellness. You being intentional on what comes into your body, what you eat, and all of that. Then we also have the mental wellness.
Yeah.
This is where your emotional intelligence comes in. This is where you manage stress. Then if you also have the funds to go for massages therapy, that can come under mental wellness.
Okay.
If
and
you
that's
also
where you fall.
Yes, and and if you also have the opportunity to see a therapist and they don't know who to talk to, so that can make them drained. That can cause mental stress.
Okay.
So that's under mental.
Is it safe to confide in people just to relieve stress?
Family depends on how your relationship and the kind of family you have. But trust me, I think they are very good therapists now.
Okay, and so that can keep things in confidence.
Of course, there are therapists. People see therapists for different reasons. Like therapists that can talk to you, a therapist you could talk to. So that's under mental wellness. We also have the body wellness and the skin wellness, which comes under still the massage therapy. So that's where spa comes in. So overall on wellness, spa is just under it's a part of wellness.
Okay.
So wellness is broad.
Okay, so can we say wellness is just for young persons, or also older persons can go for wellness? And can aging affect wellness and skin?
Where do I start from? You not taking care of yourself when you're younger can affect you during old age.
Okay.
If you don't start your wellness habits from a young age, maybe let me say your 20s, you start eating right, you start doing the right things, exercising. When you get old, maybe you don't exercise, you might start having issues like arthritis, a lot of things that will make you stiff during old age. So it's better to start your wellness from young. Teach your kids to be intentional. Sports, kids should go for sports. You should have timetable for, oh mom, we're going to sport, we're going for swimming classes, everything. Those are wellness package. You're training your child to be intentional. Wellness is a journey, is a lifestyle.
I know, because we're trained in school. We know that during assembly, there's a lot of physio that children get to do. So you're saying that even as graduates who are now parents, we should carry that into adulthood.
Exactly.
In what form?
In you scheduling your timetable, you're working, they work close at this time. This is my time. What can I do with this my leisure time? Don't be at home and press your phone on the bed all through. You are killing yourself.
You know now. You know.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
You lying down for 9 hours on your phone. Yes, you work on the phone. If you're not out in person, walk around. You don't have gym equipment in your house. There are so many things you can do to stretch your body, to sweat. Just try to sweat out. It helps your wellness. So wellness is really broad. So wellness is not just about spas. It is beyond more than that.
All right. So I hear people say deep tissue massage. So what is the importance of deep tissue massage to wellness?
Because it's your specialty as a spa owner. Yes.
Okay,
let's come back to what you do.
Let's go into it now. Massages. Now there are different types of massages. I'm sure the most popular one is the deep tissue. Okay, deep tissue is one of our most sold massages, but it helps with tension. Why a lot of people go for deep tissue massages, it releases that tension. Maybe if you have deep pains, it really helps with the pains. For nursing mothers, for people that sit a lot, your back, your neck. If you're requesting for a massage, always request for the deep tissue and the hot stone, like our request. Hot stone massage is a two combo we go on for people that are very stressed. People that they do a lot of calls, they talk a lot, your busy schedules. Those are the kind of massage you go for. And our advice is 2 hours. 1 hour is not enough to work on your body.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma. We take our time. We go through all the veins, all the areas that should be relaxed, all the nerves that should be touched. We are very professional in our area. So this is what I would advise. So go for like a 2 hours massage and you will really get relieved.
And there's another one. They talk about hot stone.
Yeah, I talked about it.
How hot
stone?
is the stone?
How hot is the stone?
No. When we say hot stone, doesn't mean it's really hot. It's actually warm enough for the therapist to hold. Then we make sure we test on our skin before placing on your skin. And we also use therapy oils. Like we have oils that can make you sleep, oils that help for pains. If you have pains now, we have a specific oil we could recommend while
Okay.
using. That's why you have to do a consultation with us. If you have insomnia, you don't sleep, we have massages that you can do for sleeping. We have a sleeping oil massage.
Okay. And for people who are experiencing sedentary lifestyle, like you talked about, people who sit a lot, would you say that engaging a person like you and you advising them, booking a session with you, would help them to maybe come up with a way of managing that? Can you walk us through a simple system that someone who works perhaps a banker can use to stay active all day? Somewhat.
To stay active all day.
Yes.
First
so
of all,
to
their
move around a
sleeping
little.
habits.
Okay.
First of all, their sleeping habits. They have to be very calculative with their time. Yes. So when you come back from work, you know, okay, I'm doing a workout for 30 minutes. I'm having my dinner and I'm going to bed by this time. Most of the times, bankers will be there pressing their phones like 2, 3, then they sleep and and they have like less hours. They wake up all swollen, tired, feeling crumbly, and they get. So first of all, it starts from your sleep. Your sleep is very important, and your meal.
Okay. All right. So, what is the difference between beauty treatments and wellness?
Beauty treatment is clear. Beauty treatment, no treatment.
Because people actually mix it up together, especially when you bring in spa. So they believe the spa is just
with
for,
what you just said now. Beauty
Yes.
treatment. Treatment is a condition. Example: if I have a treatment here, maybe I have like a very big acne. That is me treating it. That's treatment. So it's different from wellness, because most people will come and be like, "Oh, I want a particular condition to live immediately." Wellness is a journey. It's something that you're intentional about your health, taking care of yourself. It doesn't have anything to do with treatment.
Oh, really? So, like when you say when, like having constant exercises.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to talk about some of the misconceptions when wellness is mentioned, but we'll take a short break. This is still Morning Dew, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
You're still watching Morning Dew on Dott TV, and we're still talking wellness. We have with us the specialist herself and the CEO of Candy's Wellness Spa is still here, Chichi Giftedebula, and of course my colleague at Success. And let's talk about some of the misconceptions. There are claims that spa treatment claims, are they fact or fiction?
They are fictions.
Really?
Yes. Wellness does not mean instant results. Wellness does not mean instant result. Wellness is not only for rich people. We get that conception. People be like, I beg, when you share flyers, I'm like, I beg, now rich people. I'm like, no, wellness is not just for rich people. Wellness only, some people feel like wellness means only going to the spa. They'll be like, I beg, I know they do wellness, I know they go spa. We're like, no. So that's a misconception we always get. People say, oh, self-care is selfish. You're being selfish. No, that's a misconception also. So wellness does not give an instant result. Wellness is not only for rich people. Wellness is not only going to the spa.
Prove to us that it's not only for rich people. How
Exactly,
affordable
because
are your own services?
It's very expensive. Spa is expensive. Wait, so let's be realistic.
Goes to the spa, so she's
It's
telling us
expensive.
how-
Okay,
So
hold
let's
on,
be
hold on.
realistic.
Hold on, guys. Wellness, right? We're talking about wellness. And spa skin is one of the listings there. We had 3 categories of 4.
Okay.
So wellness is not just spa. So you could take care of yourself without going to the
No,
spa.
we mean like when
Yes.
you're going to
But you
the
said it's
spa,
not
you said
luxury.
the spa one is really not expensive. So it's not
Yes.
only for the rich people.
It's
No,
because
so
you said
not
so.
only the rich people go to the spa.
Because
right?
all these things
so
that
let's
they're
know
putting
how
on this lady, for
yes.
instance. Yeah, your hands. I think there's a way you treat your hands. Maybe before we finish, you just place your hands on your faces.
Okay, I think I'm going to give you guys a treat. Don't worry. I
Okay.
really want you to feel the massage and tell me if it's not worth it.
If
If it's not worth the price.
the luxury, right?
Oh my
Now you're
gosh.
telling us
All
the
right.
truth. Okay, now talk to us about the Asaba environment and how.
Okay, but a quick one. I would also want to give an everyday lifestyle tips before we.
Exactly.
Before we leave, but before you do that, talk to
everyday
us
life,
about
like
this
5 simple
environment.
wellness
Yes, because we would like to know, are people embracing wellness across the categories that you mentioned? To what extent? Which one area do you think our people have embraced wholly? And which one are we yet to catch up with among the physical, lifestyle, this, that you listed?
mental.
To be honest, I would say I'm impressed with Nigerians. Basically, it's not just about the East. Now, if we're talking about, most people are not intentional about their health. They're not intentional about their well-being. You see a lot of people in the gym. The gym is always filled up. The health center area is always filled up. People are aware of their health, their checkups.
Is it because are people, is it that they are trying to manage a condition? Do you think so? Or are they just proactively just taking ownership of their health? So
with my 10 years of experience as an esthetician, we also do consultations with clients. And you hear them say, oh, I went to the doctor, the hospital to check myself. They always want to see, because we also work with a dermatologist. When they notice anything on their body, they want to see a dermatologist, maybe a growth or something. We treat skin issues. When you have hyperpigmentations, acne, that's what we come this wellness spa treat. So they come to us. People are intentional. They do consultations. In a month, we have up to 500 consultations.
That's impressive.
Exactly. We have records to that. So people want to see, people want to know what's wrong. Now, they don't just go buy products anymore like that. They go like, oh, what do I need? People are no longer naive about their body. Yes, and people are intentional about their massages, their stress being. People feel like, okay, massage helps me. When I do massage, I feel lighter, I feel refreshed. So people have our massage sections as a weekly routine. I'm telling you. So
you're fully booked all the time?
Almost every time. You have to really call us.
Don't worry, very soon we'll let you go so you can go make money.
All right.
So I don't have to be there for the office to run. So it's running.
No, that's another thing we'll talk about, the business angle. Maybe when next year comes.
Yeah, and maybe young entrepreneurs coming in and all of that. Because we also have a branch in Enugu and it's running,
So now I hear you talk about, you treat skin as well and all that.
Yeah.
Now the rain is here. So what skincare challenges do people face and how do they, prevent them?
During the raining season, a lot of people have issues with their skin itchy, the water, the rain. Sometimes some of them are nonchalant about it. Maybe the rain beats them, they're thirsty. They don't wash off immediately. They don't raise their leg. Those people, they enter all these Lagos water. You're just coming from work and you immediately enter the water. At least wash off your leg before allowing it to dry. Now, you could get fungal infections from that. We have, now we do a lot of pedicure. So when we notice those things, you're having irritations, we'll tell you to go for a fungal test, go and see a dermatologist and all of that. So that's very important too. Washing off your body after being beaten by the rain.
How to prevent
at least that's a basic that's not how to prevent. At least, but that's like a basic thing. It's going to help if it hasn't gone into your nails and all of that.
What I do in such cases, I put my leg in hot water, almost hot,
exactly,
with disinfectant and salt.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But when you're in the office, at least just wash off. That's what I'm saying. For people that are going to the work, then when you get home, you can do like a deep cleanse and wash off yourself. Then basically, a lot of people feel dehydrated sometimes, so we tell them take a lot of water, moisturize your skin, and basically use moisturizers if you don't have an issue. And there's also something I want to talk about. We have a lady that has been using a particular skincare product for 10 years, and she came in for a consultation and be like, oh, I've been using this product for 10 years, I'm not going to change. This lady is having a dried skin. And the product she was using is a product for treating hyperpigmentations. Now, what is hyperpigmentations? Maybe your body have some spots, you want to clear the body. And that product is not a product you use consistently.
Yes.
Because you are treating a particular condition. So when the condition is gone, don't think that you continue getting light and light. No. She wasn't moisturizing. She wasn't using hydrating products. So I asked her, where's your moisturizer? She was like, no, this is the cream I use. I don't want to call it brown name, but it's just a lighting product.
Yes.
And it's not a bad product. But because she was using it wrongly, it burnt her skin.
Oh, so we can actually use some products wrongly.
Exactly. That's a different topic from wellness.
Yes,
you guys are taking it out of.
It is actually, but since you mentioned it,
so I was just trying to say some consultations that people come in for and how people are aware. about their skin.
As we wrap up, can you give us the tips you talked about that we can take away?
Basic
Free
tips
tips.
daily.
Okay, for wellness, I would
Yes.
say put yourself on the timetable. Yes, it's difficult. It's discipline. Tell me, it's not easy going for a gym 4 times in a week. Trust me, as an entrepreneur, as people that work every day, it's difficult. But if you can put yourself on that routine, your lifestyle will change. Because going for gym, going for these workouts, trying to to sweat at least 30 minutes after the day's work helps your
Okay.
mental health. So I would say try to put yourself on this thing, then drink a lot of water. Now, water helps you. Water builds your skin. Water
Okay.
is something that I think God created for.
And what I don't get any refinement.
Yes, soft drinks or minerals are not what you're supposed to take with your meal, right?
Okay.
You shouldn't be taking a sugary substance, but you could do fruit juice, but water is very important. Take a lot of water, take a lot of water. Then I will also say move regularly. Like I said, move. Even if you're in the office, try to walk around and all of that. Protect your skin excessively from sun. Try to use a sunscreen protector and schedule your health checkup. Go for checkup.
Okay, and lastly, you need to leave us with a word, just in case anyone is encouraged to go and patronize a spa. What should we look out for in choosing a spa? Because I know that there are some unqualified,
Exactly.
some unqualified people may just set up, open one shop and say it's a spa.
So what you should look out for basically is your consultations. And most people just come in and they just touch your face. They want to just touch your face. They should ask you what was your routine, what's your consign, why you're coming in for this section. Because before anybody should come in for a section, there's a consign. So without them knowing your consign, I think it's something you should be bothered about.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So make time to rest, like I was saying. Make time to rest, schedule your checkup, and all of that.
Okay, so thank you, viewers, and I really want to say a very big thank you, CEO Camdis.
Thank you very
Camdis
much.
Wellness and Spa. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much, Chichi Gifted Ebule, the CEO of Camdis Wellness Spa, for giving us all these freebies. We feel like paying you, but don't worry, we're owing you.
No, she said she owes us.
The playout station.
Okay.
And of course, from success,
Yes.
your words.
I will. At this point, I want to encourage everyone to, take out time to look after yourself. Go for exercise. Have a good healthcare section with yourself, and
Pamper yourself.
Pamper yourself.
Pamper yourself.
Pamper yourself.
Yes. Well, I would say, is wellness about chasing perfection or following every trend? No, that's not what it's about. It's about making informed choices, and that's what Chichi has told us today.
And being consistent.
Yes, being consistent. So we hope today's conversation has helped clear up some common misconceptions and empowered you to make the right wellness choices. Of course, that's it on this segment of Morning Dew. I am Ife Arono, and the program continues. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
From Harrison, that is a massive world record. Martinelli goes, boys, out of his goal. Martinelli, this will be 3 for
46 pupils, teachers, and the school principal were kidnapped on May 15.
You are saying you are the chief security officer, but he doesn't have the power to control the call on the commissioner of police. The government has to step in to ensure that they get the proper mental
Therapy.
health care, even if it means some sort of relocation from that particular community to somewhere
That's a
else.
possibility.
Yes.
Where are we headed as a country if our children are traumatized from childhood?
When the chips are down, we'll find out that women are able to expand.
Your Voice Africa, showing every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Dott Television.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
Certain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to human stories behind them.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back and thank you for sticking with us since the morning. The state government has proposed an economic summit and is building up. Just Wednesday here, the State Secretary to Government gave a press briefing on that matter. And we're going to have a conversation on preparations, what is expected. But before then, let's just have an excerpt of the press briefing by the Secretary to the State Government.
Web to Fifth will serve as a platform to market the state's abundant natural and economic resources to investors from across the globe. According to him, the summit will spotlight critical sectors including agriculture, livestock, solid minerals, and the blue economy, with the aim of attracting investment capable of driving sustainable economic growth and job creation.
Delta is ready for investment. We have 6-7 thematic areas showing our strengths: agribusiness and livestock. That's one level. We're looking at solid mineral and mining. We're looking at the energy ecosystem. We're looking at the digital economy and innovation. We're looking at the blue economy. So these are critical subsectors in an area that we believe that we're selling to the world.
Dr. Elmo noted that the state to commercial centers, as well as development of the Delta State Free Trade Zone, which has already attracted private sector investment. He disclosed that investors from China, Brazil, and different parts of Nigeria have indicated interest in participating in the summit.
Fiscal infrastructure, establishing fiscal infrastructure. This government in the last 3 years has done over 2,300 kilometers length of road, and then 1,750 kilometer width of those roads. Some ongoing, some completed, and they are also connecting. We are going to have over 25 Brazilian businesses, and Apex, just like their Apex investment body that controls the Brazilian businesses and finances them, they are also going to be on ground, and that demonstrates the level of collaboration that,
including trade and investment, oil and gas, and aviation, among others, will participate in the summit to showcase sector-specific opportunities and facilitate discussions with prospective investors.
So our local partners will populate the D rooms with local partners who are subject matter specialists and practitioners in that area. That's the first thing that you're going to see. So you're going to see that run on the first day. On the second day, you are going to see panel discussions. You are going to have panel discussions in these 6 thematic areas. You are going to have the agribusiness.
Stand by. Yeah, you're welcome back. And the takeaways, and of course, to deepen conversation on how prepared the state government is, expectations. We have no other person than the State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads, and Information.
It's nice to be here again.
Good. And the primary aim is to attract investors, especially from outside the country. Nigeria is our country. Delta State is in Nigeria. And the events, is it that Delta has created an environment specific to Delta that will enable
me once again, and then giving us the opportunity to shed light on the essence of the Economic and Investment Summit. And to answer your question straight, Delta is very, very ripe and enabled for investment. And then secondly, I can also tell there are also a number of other parts of the country where investment is also taking place. And so much as we are very much aware of some issues that have to do with insecurity, we believe that a whole lot is also being done to be able to address it. And a number of states have also been able to, 3 years of the Oborowori administration. Of course, you know the essence of the MORE agenda, which addresses issues around meaningful development, creating opportunities for all segments of our society, ensuring that reforms are realistic, and of course, aspect of enhancing peace and security. All these 4 thematic areas put together are for the purpose of creating that enabling environment that will make business to thrive. And so having been able to record appreciable progress in the area of building infrastructure, which to a very large extent supports investment, and then of course, taking steps to ensure a whole lot of enhancement in our security. And so it's now time for us to say, now that we have created that environment that is enabling for investment, let's now go out there and let these investors who have these funds, who are in search of areas where they can also make profit, to come in. You recall sometime last year, we had the opportunity of visiting a number of places. I had the privilege of accompanying His Excellency to China, where we met a number of investors. And thereafter, we also went on a roadshow, more or less, to Brazil. And so all that has culminated into this economic summit. So now we're inviting them to come. And a number of them are coming in from Brazil, from China, and a number of other places, including a good number of investors in Nigeria. Of course, the keynoter is Okonjo Iweala. You know her pedigree.
Oh, yes. Okay. We're talking about this epoch-making event, and it's going to span 3 days from August 3rd to 5th. We have an election coming up in just a few months. What does that say about the Delta State government in this first term in office? What does that say about how the governor has fared so far? How far so far?
If you had followed different briefings and the governor's remarks in a number of areas, you will agree with me that the governor has said no matter the intensity of the campaigns, it's not going to disrupt his governance model, and which meant that even in the course of the elections, he's going to carry on with governance. We have even said that once the campaign starts, we will not just go to communities and campaign. We will go to communities and commission projects. We will go to communities and also initiate new projects. We will go to communities and let them know these are the things we have done, these are the ones we are doing, and these are the ones we will do. And so all those ones will speak to governance rather than just politicking and campaigning. And so the aspect of the investment summit at a time where many are very busy with politicking and campaigning speaks to those issues, to let you know that if Oborowori says I'm going to do it, he does it. And so you can see that we are calm. We have not been busy jumping up and down doing rallies. If any time you see that we're going to anywhere to commission projects, we meet our people and we let our people see these are the things we are doing. And so because we rate our people more, in which case Oborowori put the people first. And that is why we believe that this investment summit will indeed bring about certain persons that will bring in their funds, that will stimulate growth in a number of untapped resources and sectors, And at the end of the day, will help us generate a much needed employment. There are a number of individuals who have said, yes, we have done so much roads, but we need jobs because the road doesn't give us jobs. But they are wrong. Apart from the job, the fact that the road also creates some form of economic activities for those who are involved in the construction sector and the other ancillary services that are rendered in that sector. Roads creates possibilities. If you're asking me to come and invest, and you are letting me know that the place where, because after all, land is one of the major capital in terms of investment. That land must be situated somewhere. That land must have accessibility. And so if you say they have a land in a place, investor, come and use that land. An investor is not the one that is going to build the road to the place. But if the investor sees that you have been able to create that artery that takes him to the heart of where he's going to invest, automatically you will know that that investor will know that one particular problem has been solved. And once that problem accessibility is solved, the investor now knows what belongs to him and then how serious the state is. Both from the point of setting up the factory where he needs to take in some equipment, and from the point where he starts producing where he needs to take out whatever he's produced. In addition to even taking raw material to that particular place where the factory is sited. So having been able to achieve a reasonable extent of a progress in creating this nexus between producers and consumers, we now feel that it's now time for us to seek a producer. You can now come and produce because the consumer will also have access to where you are. And that's why we're bringing them in, because when they establish this company, people will get job. When people get job, people will earn salary. When people earn salary, people will pay tax. So that becomes the return on investment for government.
All right, let's look at it this way. One of the things that the government has done, which perhaps we don't have full understanding of, is the free economic zones in Kwale and Koko. Now, people are passing, they see the signboard. Some people don't have where to go in. So what is the meaning of free economic zones? There are some of us journalists who don't understand. There are some people, investors who don't understand. How does free economic zone operate, and how does it improve investment opportunities?
Well, first of all, let me tell you that what we have in Delta first is special economic zone.
Okay.
Why it's called special economic zone? Because it covers a wide area all the way from Coconut down to Kwale.
Okay.
So any area within that period, we can now have a free economic zone. This free economic zone means that there are certain incentives that the investor enjoys. For instance, if you are setting up a company in a free economic zone, you do not pay as much duty as the one who is elsewhere, because the free economic zone enables a lot of companies to come in.
Okay.
I recall when we were studying economics in our secondary school level, they talk about localization of industries. So you are now able to bring in a whole lot of industries to conglomerate within a particular vicinity.
Okay.
If you get to the place that you say you are seeing signboard, even on the road, you will see that there's a particular one green roof. That is one of the companies. Okay. When you also proceed inside, you will see that there are more than 14 companies
that's for the one in Kwale.
Yes, the one in Kwale.
Yeah.
That some of them are already operating, some of them are also setting up. Okay. At the moment, we are constructing a road within that economic zone in Kwale so that they can afford to now have access to the different plots that have been allocated to a number of these companies that have indicated interest, and of course those who have come in. You recall also that sometime earlier in the year, we had the groundbreaking ceremony of that particular the one in Kwale. The one in Kuku, a number of other companies have also come in there, and both the ones that are into processing, either by way of gas to wealth, or those who are into some other forms of production. So you needed to just look at that road, drive behind beside that signboard you are talking about, and then go inside. You will see that a whole lot of activities going on.
So
but even on the road itself,
what are the infrastructure available there?
I have just told you that, number one, we are providing the roads for them to be able to have access.
Okay.
And as they begin to
the roads
build,
are under construction, or they've been constructed?
No, you have, first of all, you have a road to go to the place. There's already a third road leading to the place. We are now constructing more to be able to link up to the different zones within that particular economic zone. So that if, for instance, plot 25 is allocated to you, and then plot 30 is allocated to me, why you will be able to have access to your plot 25, I should also be able to have access to my plot 30. So government is providing that as a further incentive, so that the companies, when they come in, they know that government have been able to do ABC. Because also that place has a whole lot of proximity to gas resources, there are companies that have also come in to process that gas. That becomes their own business. So they use that gas to also provide energy for some other companies that are going to come in, who will be into some other, whether glass production and all that. There are companies that are into glass production that have also gone into that place. And so when those companies come in, when you are also setting up this kind of zone, you don't expect that you set it up today, you begin to blossom tomorrow. It takes what we call gestation period. But the fact that companies are coming in is already creating employment. People are involved in clearing the sites. People are involved in the construction of the buildings and other equipment that they need to be able to operate in those different companies. So anytime you have a free period, just drive through that particular road where you have the signboard you are talking about, and you see that a whole lot of activities going on right in the within the free economic zone.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Talking about the ease of doing business, which I know is what investors, both local and international, will be concerned to understand better. We know that the cost of electricity is going up nationally. This morning we talked about it while discussing business. But we of course know that there are interventions by the Delta State government as well, because the SSG, while he was speaking, talked about how that the cost of power is comparatively lower here. So talk to us about that, because a lot of people who want to come would like to understand that part.
What you must understand about the issue of pricing and the cost of items, not even only electricity, is that the reason why we complain is largely due to the very low purchasing power of the people. So what government needs to do, and what we are doing, like in the case of data, is to say, okay, how do we show up the purchasing power? The moment your purchasing power goes up, you will actually realize that some of these things indeed are not expensive. They are expensive because our purchasing power is low. And so that's why we don't want to get involved in that argument where people will say, no, it is cheap. Cheap relative to what? It should be cheap relative to the money I have in my hand. For instance, if both of us travel and I get to Lagos, I say I'm going to stay in a co-signature. And then I tell you that I'm paying 640,000 naira per night. And another person is going to perhaps another hotel and is going to pay 70,000. The person who is paying 70,000 naira will tell you that the one of 650 is too terribly expensive. Because of the availability of what the money he has. But a Dangote will go into that place and may not even know that he paid anything, which is issue of class. The same thing, those who fly business class, those who fly first class, and those who fly economic class. And even the economic class also has different classes, premium economy and all those ones. So what I'm trying to say is that the price of electricity, if you are producing enough and the people have the purchasing power to buy what you are producing, you will discover that your profit will indeed offset that cost of electricity. You cannot even at the moment compare cost of electricity to the cost of buying diesel if you're operating on diesel. So when you put them side by side, you will discover that electricity, if it is properly supplied, and that the people are enabled to be able to purchase that which you have produced, the complaints that we're talking about will not exist. If, for instance, I give you an instance, if you travel to United Kingdom, and I need you to pay attention so that individuals will not crucify me of making comparison that does not fall in line.
Realistic.
Don't forget that I'm talking about purchasing power. In United Kingdom today, you stay in one room that both the room, the bathroom, the kitchen and everything is just half of this, not even up to half of this your studio. And the person pays as much as £900 in a month. £900 is approximately 1.7 million naira. 1.7 million naira is what you are paying possibly for 2-bedroom for a year.
And we are crying.
And you cry that is much. In the United Kingdom, works for that 1 month and pays that much. And the £900 I'm talking about is for those who are living possibly away from central London. I'm not talking about those who are living in the real city. Those who pay as much as £1,200. So you discover that most of the things we are talking about have to do with shoring up the purchasing power, shoring up the value of the currency.
Mm-hmm.
A number of times, particularly government workers, make demands of increment in wages. And I ask them, is it true that this increase in wage is going to solve your
Take
problem?
care of your needs.
It is very temporary. You know why? Because as the wage is increasing, the inflationary trend will naturally catch up with it. Because the inflationary trend moves at a velocity that is close to 160 kilometers per hour, while your increment in that money may be moving at just 60 kilometers per hour.
Yes.
So there's going to be serious overtaking in a short while.
Mm.
So any demand of such increase is only speaking to the quantity of money in your hand and not the quality. And now the question is, what do we do? It is a collective responsibility of both those of us in government and those who are not in government. Because recall that they say that the people get the leadership
They deserve. Absolutely.
It means that even you who is outside do have a role to play.
Mm.
And what is that role? It is not up to only the media that should hold government accountable, as very well stated in our section 22 of the Nigerian Constitution.
Yeah.
It also behoves on those other persons that are outside government to say, government, no, you can't do this. Because if you do this, we will do this.
Mm.
But you know why that is not happening in Nigeria? Everybody wants to be greedy. Not only those in government. The moment you want to complain and they call you and they take care of you, you forget about the struggle. And labor will wake up and say, no, we want you to increase our salary. You increase your salary, and in less than 3 months, the salary does not even have the weight of the one where they are moving out from. So those are some of the issues that we need to be able to look at to interrogate our fiscal policies vis-a-vis the reactionary trend of
And
the
that
people.
can be from a national level, even,
Yes.
not just at the state.
Yeah.
Or
All right, we'll continue
subnational
with this
level.
conversation. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at other areas of preparation for these upcoming events. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.